Gang, welcome to another goddamn episode, podcast, YouTube video. We're going to get into a few different topics today. First and foremost, we need to introduce Mr. Matthew.
Hello.
Who are you? Who is Matthew? Who is Matthew to the world?
I'm a lot of different things, really. Coach, closer, ad specialist. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Matthew, obviously. My name's Matthew. I'm with TCT. I'm a coach. And I'm also the closer for TCT as well. So if you've booked a sales call or you book a sales call, you might have the pleasure of talking to me. So that's who I am. We'll get into it a bit more about like me and stuff like that in a bit, but yeah, that's basically who I am. I'm the sales guy at TCT.
Welcome. We're going to have like 3 to 4 different topics going on. But first of all, first video that we're going to run through in this series is going to be specifically about congruency. So I guess, Mr. Sales Guy, what is congruency to you?
So the easiest way, like in my opinion, to explain it is what you expect from other people is what you need to expect from yourself. So in like a sales context, right, congruency is essentially like living up to your own word and not having like double standards. So like an example of this is like as a fitness coach, like you're going to ask your clients to do, like you know this yourself, right? You're going to ask your clients to do uncomfortable things. You know, go to the gym when you don't feel like it. Eat food or not eat food when you want to, right? If you're telling people to do that, then you need to do that yourself. So, for example, if you're not willing to make uncomfortable decisions because it's uncomfortable, which is the exact thing you're telling people to do, then you're incongruent. And like, does that actually align with like the person that you want to be? Probably not.
I think that we see it more so from the side of like investing in the business, right? That's where we like more so see it.
Yeah.
So if you're telling people, you're telling your clients to invest in their health, their fitness, whatever, invest in you as a coach, but you're not actively investing in yourself, like that would be our definition of not being congruent, right? But also like when you're doing things in business as well, it kind of cross translates to I want to grow a 6-figure business, 7-figure business, and then your actions are so ridiculously small and different. Like that's kind of the frustrating thing that I see within like I suppose like the fitness industry, especially at the moment, like is that people say they want to do something when it comes down to the actions, like it's just such a large gap, right?
From a sales perspective as well, right? Obviously, like I spend a lot of time on calls, right? So like I see like human behavior patterns like quite a lot, and like what I've noticed, or something that I notice, is that everyone wants to become an entrepreneur until it becomes time to do entrepreneur shit. It's like, have you heard that saying? Everyone wants to be a gangster until it's time to do gangster shit. I can't remember what film that's from, but everyone wants to have the lifestyle, right? Like, you know, like you see where it's like work from Bali or work from Dubai or
You want to say about that?
whatever, right? But everyone wants that outcome. But then, are you actually willing to do the inputs that will produce that outcome, which is going to be investing in yourself? And this isn't a pitch to get you to invest in yourself, right? But at the end of the day, if you want to have the things that other people have that isn't normal, quote unquote, you're going to have to do things that are uncomfortable, right? And it's like everyone wants to become an entrepreneur, everyone wants to have their own business until it's time to play the piper at the end of the day. Right?
Yeah, I think for the vast majority of people, like especially with the fitness coaches that we work with, it's always like I want to hit 6 figures, 7 figures, right? And that's kind of like
act like it then. Act like it.
Yeah, but like it's kind of like you have like almost 2 or 3 main stages of business that I see. One of them is like the fun part, like the setting up part, right? It's like
excited, new.
Exactly. It's like the you're setting up things, like you're starting to make content and stuff like that, right? But like stage 1, realistically, for a lot of people, is actually quite like it's easy, right? Because you're basically going from nothing and everything exciting. So that's like the novel stage, where the business grows, where you'll have the most amount of growth in any business is basically in this like utter dross shit like section where you're basically wanting to headbutt a wall every single day for the rest of your life, right?
Yeah.
And then you have like the I've hit 7 figures, like 6 figures, 7 figures, and then you have this thing here. So it starts really easy. You have this like long, for some people it's really long, right? It could be like 10 years
Yeah.
of just absolute like
Garbage.
process, problems, solve, and then you hit this. But I think that where we see it is that a lot of fitness coaches, they say they want to hit this thing. They start well, the novel side, but they when you get to this midsection, it's so like, I want to hit a 6 figure, 7 figure business.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you have to go through this thing here.
Yeah. And like tying it back to congruency, how many coaches do you see that tell people to enjoy the process?
Especially bodybuilding coaches.
Right. Oh, yeah, I want to get to sub 10% body fat. Oh, yeah, you've got to fall in love with the process. You've got to show up, do the non-negotiables. So essentially, like, I think you can start to draw the similarities between like how you actually need to be congruent, because it's like, if you tell your prospects to do one thing, then you can do the thing yourself. It's like me, for instance. I'll give you an example, right? I think I've told you this story before, but so when I moved countries,
Where'd you live?
Dubai. But when I moved countries, one of the things that was like one of the most important things I did was apartment shopping. Now, there's always like a saying that the objection that you give is the objection that you get. So if you consistently have to think about things, what are you going to get? Think about it. If you have to ask your partner, which is hey, you're gonna have ask my partner. If you shop around for stuff, you're gonna get shop around. So when I moved countries, because I was like, I'm so set on being congruent with how I want people to behave for me, I bought the first apartment that I looked at. I didn't shop around. I went to view another one because I had to, but I just bought.
Shop around.
No, I didn't, because I wasn't actively considering it. It was like following process. But anyway, to actually give some value to this, the reason that I didn't want to shop around is because I don't want to give that energy off, and also I don't want to waste my own fucking time.
Yeah.
How many successful people do you know that shop around?
None.
Why?
It's because they tie themselves to an identity that's not that. So, like, say for example, you want like a 7 figure business. 7 figure business owners do not think. Like, they're very like yes or no. It's not like I need to think about it. Like, there's no like thinking pattern. The move from like, this is great and it can like speed up my process or progress, or like, this isn't going to help me at all. Like, I know no successful entrepreneur that is like, I need to think about this thing and I'll get back to you in a day, or I'll get back to you next week. It's always like yes, no.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's because in order to become that level of entrepreneur, you have to do things at speed. So like, it completely goes against, like, the shopping around completely goes against the speed element. And we'll obviously, like, we're going to talk about like how to sell to high net worth individuals like at a later point. But like, if you talk to like a successful CEO, COO, whatever, everything is like,
Yeah, like that.
super fucking fast, like super quick.
I think it comes down to values as well. It's like, what do they value? It's like they value time, they value speed.
Yeah.
One of the characteristics, so when I'm on a sales call with someone, right, for TCT, one of the, I guess, most important characteristics, or one of the most important characteristics that I see is speed.
Yeah.
It's like, how fast can you make decisions? How fast can you take action? How fast can you think? In my opinion, that is one of the most important characteristics for business. Because if you're slow, you get killed. And like, this is why, like, even when you, like, I need to think about it logically, it just doesn't make sense.
No.
Because it's like, what the fuck are you thinking about?
I thought you were going to say your favourite phrase, putting time and distance between a decision.
It is, though.
Yeah.
Like, it legitimately is. But like, tying it back to congruence, right? If you want like your prospects to, in my opinion, if you want your prospects to show up and take action, then you need to do it yourself. I was on a call, I was on a group call like 2-3 weeks ago, and it was for David, and he was pitching on the call, and I caught myself like giving myself objections in my head, and I was like, bro, why are you being so gay? Like, just invest if you want it. And it's like, I will never, ever, ever, ever give any objections. If I'm there to buy.
Yeah, I think the only time I'd ever not give an objection, but the only time where I'm on a call, like we were speaking about the going to get a US close the other day, and
Yeah.
I was like, and I basically was like, no. So like the only time I'd ever give an objection, if that makes sense, is a flat like I'm not going to do this thing, because like there's never like a necessarily I need to go away and think about it, because I think again it doesn't my whole entire goal with my own business is to take it to 8 figures. I say this all the time,
Correct.
and there's someone at 8 figures is not going to give a fucking a shopping round objection, fucking anything else like that. It's either a yes or a no.
Yeah.
And I think that as a business owner, I respect the like hard no. Like if someone comes onto a call and they're just like, no, I respect it.
It all comes down to like I think your ability to be uncomfortable. Because why do people say no? Why don't people say no?
Well, the reason that I would say no in that situation is because I cannot see it help me. Does that make sense?
But what I'm trying to say is like the reason that people, in my opinion, give it like think about it is because they just don't have the balls to say.
Yeah, they can't make a decision on the spot.
Yeah.
Which is not how you would grow a business.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna be met with met with tests in that middle section where you're gonna have to be like, this is wrong, and if you spend time on the thing,
Yeah.
thinking about it, you're fucked.
This is literally why on a sales call I do not accept that answer.
Which is not an answer.
No, because the way that I run a sales call, right? Like I don't care about just getting people's money, right? Like you're the same,
Yeah.
right? Like you obviously, like I've been in TCT for a year. You've obviously built it to where it is now. But like, if you didn't get another client for 2 months, you'd be like, you wouldn't give a shit, right? So like, when I'm on a call with someone, right, my first intention is to like genuinely help that person and put them into the best position to succeed. Because like a saying that I always maintain, and this is something that I got from like my own sales mentor, is that I don't want someone to just come into the program and bomb out. You know, I don't want someone to come into the mentorship and put them in front of you, and they're like they don't have what it takes psychologically to make it work. So my intention on the call is to prime people and to get people in the best psychological position to do well with TCT, because that's what I want for you. And if you're, this is kind of like objection handling someone before they get on a call. But if you're in a position where you're faced with a decision and you're like putting time, distance, whatever behind that, it's like, well, how is that going to serve you moving forward? Because every single time that you get onto making an important decision, you're just going to do that. It's like you either face the music and make the decision, or you run and hide under your bed. Which one of them is actually going to get you to become a 6-figure business owner?
Yeah, and I think that like, well, I think there's a couple of reasons why we pitch like that in particular, right? Because if you didn't challenge them at all, then like because like when you look at the logistics of a sales call, and like fitness coaches are the same, right? You have to understand why someone's on the call.
Yeah.
Like someone just would say, I don't want the call, right? So they clearly want the outcome by even booking on the call, right?
Facts.
If the set and if the process was right before, we're saying that is right. But understand, like, they are problem aware, they're solution aware, because they know, like, they have a problem and they want to get to a goal, and they're solution aware because they're like, I know what you do, right?
Yep.
So it's like, I have this problem and I need to get to this outcome, and you can help me get there. So then the only thing realistically, apart from logistical, the only thing is going to be that like fear.
Yeah.
Like that's the only reason why someone realistically shouldn't close with you guys.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people get like really confused, right? And this could probably lead into like maybe another topic that we want to discuss about, like scared to sell.
Yeah.
Like the purpose of sales? A lot of people get it like mixed up, right? Like a lot of people think that the purpose of sales is to just make money. Obviously, yes, it is, right? I love money, right? I'll be very open about that. Who the fuck doesn't, right? Like, if you want to grow a business, you have to love money or have a love for it, right? But
that's a different subject, though. We can get into that.
Yeah, we will. But like a lot of people are really afraid to sell because they misunderstand what like sales actually is. Sales, in my personal opinion, is facilitating change through changing someone's brain. Because it's like we spoke about earlier, right? If you want to get to a different position and you want different outcomes, then you have to become a different person. So a lot of people are scared to sell because they don't understand like what the actual point of sales is. The point of sales is not to shake someone down for cash. It's to actually like allow them to change and to help them change. And by facilitating that change, you're getting paid, right? Like that's literally all it is.
Yeah, and I think that like I think a lot of coaches they'll look at it like the cash exchange.
Ooh,
Yeah, but they'll look at it like I do not have cash. Then if I sell to this person, I will have cash. But then they don't look at the whole like I can literally help this person here change a whole entire fucking life. Like from a fitness perspective, like they could be like 60 pounds overweight, 70 pounds overweight, and then you can get them into a position where
they're not fat.
they're not fat and they fucking live longer and shit like that. Like it's fucking crazy, right?
Yeah.
So when I see a fitness coach and they're just like I'm scared to pitch. I'm like what? Like why? Like
Yeah.
why?
I think a lot of it comes down to someone's relationship with money.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I think that from my personal
Okay.
yeah, I mean we won't get into geopolitics, but like the biggest hurdles that I've had to overcome in sales, me personally, is like relationship to money, because 9 times out of 10, if someone starts a business, it normally comes from a position of like running away from pain, doesn't it? Like you hate your current existence. I mean, obviously we spoke about this literally in the car here, right? You did not like working in the factory where you worked, right? God, that makes it sound shit. That does. You didn't like being an engineer, right?
It's facts.
Same here, right? Like I didn't like delivering fucking groceries in Tesco, so I started a business. So chances are, like if you're starting a business, you're not coming from a financially prosperous background. So you view money as like the be all and end all, the oxygen of life. This is something that I had to overcome. And because you have such an attachment and such an affinity to money, anything to do with money scares you. Because getting money will scare you. Asking people for money will make you feel like shit. And you kind of forget what the purpose is behind this. The reason that people give you money in exchange for help is because you're helping them, right? It's like, why do people invest in TCT? You're not investing into TCT because you want to know how to make fucking content or you want to know how to sell. You're investing in TCT because it's a vehicle that can take you from earning jack all to 10, 15k a month.
Yeah.
And people forget what the actual purpose is behind people investing in them. You know, they're not paying you for like workout plans or meal plans or any shit like that. And this might lead on to another topic that we'll talk about as well. But like, people are investing in you because they want you to change their life. They're not just investing in you because you have a really nice OneFit app.
Yeah, I think that like if you start looking at like the selling aspect as impact, and then you start to look at the money aspect as a tool,
Yeah.
you're gonna have impact when it's like if I sell to you, for example, I'm gonna impact your life, but then as you make more money, if it's just sat in a pot doing next to fuck all, like what is the point in having more money apart from like it's just sat in a pot of just numbers, right?
Yeah.
But like it could buy freedom, or like you could hire people, or like like everything. Like how I view money is like, yes, like impact here, so I'm going to impact everyone's life, but at the same time like I could have freedom here, so that's like a tool to buy back money, to work anywhere in the world. Like that's effectively what money is a tool. It's like it's not just like just numbers in a bank, right? I think that a lot of fitness coaches forget that, especially when they're making like, they'll start on like the sales, the impact side, and then when they get to like $5,000 a month, they're just like, I've made it. It's like,
Nah, you haven't made it.
nah. You have to consistently reinvest back into the business. Whether that's through ads, whether that's through setters, whether that's through videographers. Like you always have to look at the next thing, not just like, I've just made money, that's cool.
Yeah. And also like the way I look at like reinvesting, because I'm a serial, not investor, but like if I think something will help me, like I'll buy it, right? Like I just will. Like, let's say you go from 0 to 5k a month, right? The game just doesn't stop there. Like you make 60 grand a year, like it doesn't just stop there. Like it goes a lot further than that. But it's like when you invest in something, this is like how I view it. The purpose behind you investing in something is because you want the knowledge that that thing will give you.
Yeah.
It's like the saying that you don't know what you don't know, right? It's like if you're not investing like in yourself, then you're effectively missing out on heaps and bounds of knowledge that can potentially help you.
Yeah, it's speed, right? So like if you've ever played a game where like you're driving and then there's like that little like a speed ramp So you're like,
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's like when you buy when you invest into something, you're
Accelerating.
you're like leveling up or you're like accelerating. Also, like when you invest larger chunks of money as well, like that speed ramp is so fucking it goes on for ages, right?
Yeah.
And then also like every single time I've invested in something, especially large, right? I've invested over in the last year probably north of like 200 grand in mentors, and like every single time I've invested large chunks of money, I've always been
Made it
like,
back.
I need to fucking like I need to go. Like
Yeah.
anything they say, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm actioning.
And this is another reason why like high ticket sales or like high ticket info products, let's call it, are so popular because like
Yeah.
like we can obviously have like a conversation about like low ticket versus high ticket, right?
Yeah, that's
And like micro offers and bridging offers and
Yeah,
that shite. Anyway, but like when you actually pay money for something, right, you pay attention,
yeah,
right? It's like your business, right, is your source of income. Why the fuck would you gamble your source of income or your ability to generate income onto a £99 low ticket course?
yeah.
Are you mad?
My thing is with anything to do with business. My general rule of thumb is if anything is probably less than a grand, I'm like, that's a fucking waste of time. Unless it's like SaaS, like obviously like, like Hyros and whatever.
Software and shit.
Yeah. But like, if someone's like, I'm gonna help you move the business forward, and it's less than a grand, I'm
Yeah.
like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do for that?
And it all, like the amount of money you invest directly correlates, in my opinion, and you can probably vouch for this through investing in different things. But the amount of money that you invest correlates to how much actual emotional and physical and like energetical investment you put into something.
Yeah.
It's like when I invested in STS, right? I was like going for it like every single day, like going through the content, going through the calls, turning up to all the coaching sessions, blah 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 blah. Because I paid for it. Whereas like if I paid like £99
Yeah.
for a low ticket course, it's like you're not really gonna
But
care.
even if you had the same advice, you would not listen to it.
No.
Like,
No.
so I flew to Vegas 3 times last year.
Yeah.
Sat down with Layla and Alex for like 12 hours times 3, and it's like everything they told me there has been actioned. Everything, like not even. I had a look at my notepad the other week, and it was like literally everything that I scribbled down has been actioned. Every single fucking thing.
Because you've held yourself by investing that money. You've held yourself accountable to
Hell
it.
yeah.
And it's like if you don't invest in yourself, you're not. I don't want to turn this into like an investing in yourself ad, but it.
Maybe I'll do a VSL.
Yeah, I mean, why not? But like the level of investment, in my opinion, the level of investment you make into yourself and the level of fear or like the level of uncomfortability that you have behind that investment is typically a signal of how much attention you're going to pay to it.
Yeah, and then also if it's really uncomfortable and if you're like, I honestly think like some of the best investments I've ever made has always been the ones where I've been the most scared to invest in it.
Yeah,
Because like
same.
I always feel worried and I always feel a bit like I don't know what the word would be, but like if I don't have that shit, then I like for me I'm just like no I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
But if I have that like I know that the next thing on that because like effectively that feeling is basically like
excitement.
and it's also fear, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh crap, like it's basically like you standing on the end of
Edge
a
of a
cliff.
cliff.
Yeah. And you don't know what's gonna happen, like you step off or die or there's a fucking step there, right? But it's like every single time I've had that feeling and invested in myself has always skyrocketed everything because the uncertainty has always led the uncomfortable feeling has always led to the next stage of growth. Every fucking time. Without
Yeah.
fail as well.
Yeah, and the way I kind of look at it as well is like it's like tying it back into congruency. It's like if you want your clients to get uncomfortable, and you want your clients to invest into you, and you want them to do it even if they feel scared, then unfortunately, my friend, you must embrace and lead from the front.
Yeah.
Because like that's why I have a tremendous amount of respect for yourself, Jack, is because like whenever something happens with the business or whenever something needs to be improved, you're on it like that, right? Like your speed to response is great, like you're on it. And like that is very congruent to how you want people to be with TCT, right? Like you want your mentees to be on the ball, you want them to do things, so therefore Jack has to be that himself, right? And it's like, if you want your clients to invest into themselves, like if you want your clients to stop giving you price objections, think about objections, ask your partner objections, or ask their partner objections, stop giving them yourself. Because if you allow that level of standard or that level of bullshit for yourself, then how does that reflect to the people that you want to work with?
Yeah, and it's also to do with like conviction as well, right?
Fuck yeah.
Because like if you imagine two like coaches on Instagram and they're just exactly the same person, right? Coach A is the one who is like, I'm the fucking best, and I am like, I stand on my bullshit, I'm the best in the game, like here's my fucking results, like we can get you results, and they're really confident, versus someone who's just like, do you want to buy from me?
Probably does orthodox as well, not gonna lie.
Yeah, but which version, which coach is going to scale faster? Right? It's always going to be the one that has like super, like a lot of conviction. They're super confident with what they do, right? But we always find the ones that are very like scared to sell. They're very, I suppose, like unconfident at the start. They kind of like, they don't have that thought process of, if I want to become a 6-figure online coach or a 7-figure online coach, I have to detach the way that I currently am right now. I have to detach it and almost become like a fake version of myself for a bit in order to get to that like larger fucking goal.
Yeah.
Like in order for us to hit 8 figures, I cannot act like I am. Like I cannot be like act like
Jack, no.
where we're at right now.
Yeah.
It has to be like a fucking future version of myself. So if I ever feel scared with investing, I'm just like, that person won't. If I ever feel scared with scaling ads, I'm like, that person won't do it.
Yeah, it's like that's literally what's like, that's how I literally sell, right? A really good client that pops to mind when you speak about congruence is Johnny Crawford, right? Because it's like, he doesn't allow, like from my experience of interacting with him, like he doesn't allow that bullshit for himself. So therefore, he can become that person that is just very balls to the wall, convicted in what he does and what he sells, because he has a lot of trust in himself that he doesn't believe his own bullshit. Or even like Kurt, right? Kurt has a really good saying, and he's like, why would I believe your excuses if I don't even believe my own? And it's like, that is like so powerful, because it's like, you cannot allow people's bullshit if you don't allow it from yourself.
Yeah.
So if you want to start selling more and you want to start closing more deals, look at your life. This is my personal opinion. Look at your life, look at the behaviours that you, when no one's even watching, look at the behaviours that you display and think to yourself, is this congruent with the version of myself that I want to be? So if you want to make 5k a month, you want to make 10k a month, right? That version of you at 10k a month, how do they act? How do they react? How do they think? How do they operate? Do they do what you're doing now, or do they do things differently? If they do things differently, then maybe something needs to change.
Yeah.
So that's my view on congruency in sales.
Yeah, I think that like what the thing that we see, especially with, we see a lot of that, right? Which is basically like a lot of coaches, they'll step onto a call or they'll be in our DMs and they're just like, they act like the business owner they are now.
Best of luck getting to the next level then.
But again, in order to get to that next level, you have to step outside of that. You have to like, what would this person do? Would they invest? Would they not invest? Like what would they actually do? And then you kind of just have to act on it.
A really good reframe that I always kind of go to, right, when I'm on a call, is fitness is one of the easiest things. Fitness coach objection handling is probably one of the most straightforward, fun things to do, right? Because it's like double standards. So what I mean by that, right, is that like a lot of people, let's just like generalize it, right? A lot of coaches will help people who are overweight become in shape. Now, if we look at the typical habits of someone who is overweight, right, it's like eating in a surplus calorie amount, not moving, not exercising, blah, 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 blah. And I think that every coach watching this, and obviously yourself as a former fitness coach, would agree that in order for someone who is severely overweight to go from that to in shape, behaviorally, they have to change as a person. Mm-hmm. And a lot of coaches will preach this. They'll say that you need to change your habits, your behaviors, your mindset, blah, blah, blah. Is it not fair to assume that in order for you to go from earning X, Y, and Z to earning the level of income that you want to earn, is it not reasonable to assume that you might have to go through that same transformation? Right, and it's like, if you consistently think and operate and act like the version of yourself that you are now, that isn't making the level of income that you want to make, what's the chances that you actually get there? Because it's like a fat person, right, maintaining the same diet but just saying, oh, I want to be in shape, or maintaining the same habits of like eating Domino's cookies and Tom's cakes, whatever, and moaning about their circumstances. It's like, well, if you actually want to make some level of change, you must internally change yourself first.
Yeah.
And it's like what you said, right? Like, look at this version of myself. Does this version of me act like this? Does the version of me that earns 10k a month, do they hesitate and say it's not the right time? Do they put tasks off for the business? Do they shy away from doing sales calls because they feel a bit of anxiety about it? Probably fucking not. So if they don't do that, then why are you doing that? Because are you ever going to get there if you don't act like it?
Yeah, that's why we're so hot on like speed and TCT, right?
Yeah,
we're so hot on speed because it's like, well, for the vast majority of coaches that we work with, again, they want to hit 6 to 7 figures, right? It's like the reason why we drum that in like straight away is like success loves speed. Like if you wanna get to 6 7 figures, like you have to meet everything with such pace because
Facts.
because if a certain situation happens, right, your clients are leaving you left, right, and center, or your ads die, or like just something, right? And again, if you face a problem when you're there and you haven't been trained when you're at the bottom with speed, that is the difference between you getting your business fucked in the ass or maintaining it and just being like okay. It'll also teach you a lot about like mental fortitude, clarity, tolerance. Like it will teach you a lot about that if you're drilled right at the start. So if you're a new online fitness coach, like again, one of the first things we look at is like, can you execute fast? If yes, you're gonna fucking win.
It's like if you got shot in the leg, right? Like if you had a bleeding problem, would you wait around to fix it, or would you do something about it? And like, this is why, like, the way that, like, I try to instill this on people on a sales call, because it's like if they come into TCT with the same belief system that they have now, I am actually doing them a disservice. And the reason I say that is because, like you said, let's say clients leave them. Let's say, I mean, I don't know what could go wrong in like a business sense. I mean, I guess clients leaving is probably the worst thing.
Yeah, and like lead gen ads, right?
Let's just say you need to change your content strategy, and you've already filmed loads of content, but then you've got to go out and refilm it, right? Whatever, inconvenient as hell. But if you come into TCT, in my opinion, or if you come into any sort of mentorship program with this approach of like, oh, I'm going to wait a day, right? Like I literally had this in a sales call last night, where it's like, oh, I'm going to sleep on it and then wake up and whatever. Total BS, right? Whatever. But it's like, if you have that attitude in business, right, and you're fucking broke, right, or not broke, but if you're not earning the money you want to earn, then like, respectfully, what are the chances that you actually have a successful business? Because do you genuinely think that the most successful people, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, whatever, do you think they sleep on decisions? Probably not. And if they're multi-billionaires, the richest people in the world, and they've got 10 times more the business acumen that you do, then what right do you have to sleep on your decisions? Yeah. A lot of it comes from fear, right? But the point is that if you're displaying that behavior now, before you've invested money, the act of investing money alone is not going to change your beliefs. You have to actually change your beliefs, which is why sales calls exist. So me personally, like, I feel like if I don't change someone's belief system on a call, then I failed, because then they're going to come in and not do as well as they could. And I see that as my level of responsibility. Like, I'll take responsibility for everyone's level of success, because I'm in control of how they actually come into this, how they perceive TCT, how they feel coming into it, and what they actually do.
And you can't do that on an offer dog. And this is why we're so against offer dogs, right?
Oh, what?
Like, you can't, like... This is why we are like super sharp and super hot on all of our clients taking sales calls.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you can't throw an offer doc at someone or a document saying this is what I do, or even like to some extent like loom pitching them, right? Because you can't physically get someone out of their own way.
No.
Also, it plays towards the whole like I need to think about it, because like if you're reading that offer doc and then you're like, okay, cool, and then I come back to it, and then it plays towards the whole think about it there, right?
If you look at the biggest organizations in the, like, info product organizations in the world, right? So, like, Alex Hormozi, who else is there? I don't know who like the big mentors are, right? Like Hormozi, Will Brown,
Dan Martell.
I can't say every. I know who he is, but I don't know his like mentorship. Point being, every single, like, even massive organizations in the world who sell like 500k packages, right? They all do sales calls. Why? Because that's like how sales works. That's like the sales process. And like you said, right, like, you can't like change someone's behavior through fucking copywriting on a doc, right? Like, yeah, okay, you might not want to, you might view sales calls as like sleazy, etc., etc. But that's a belief that you've taken on due to something happening or like a circumstance. Sales inherently is not sleazy. That's the meaning that you attach to it for some particular reason that I don't know.
Yeah. It also goes against like our values at TCT, right? Because it's like, well, if you want to shy away from something because you don't like it, as in like, okay, I don't like taking sales calls because it doesn't align with my mindset, my thought process. But it's like, if you're saying that, but your goal is to hit 6, 7 figures, it's like the alignment thing here needs to basically get fucked.
Yeah.
Because like, if you want to align yourself with 6, 7 figures, you need this current level of alignment to get fucked.
And let's tie it back into congruency, right?
Yeah.
It's like your clients, do you think that, right? So my coach, right? Do I enjoy eating less calories than I want to? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Do I enjoy spending 120, 130, 150 minutes a week on the Stairmaster? No.
Yeah.
If I only did what I want to do, I would be fat, right? I wouldn't make any money because all I would do is chill by the pool and play fucking paddle, right? If you only do what you want to do, you're not going to get to where you want to go on, right? This is like tying it back into congruency, right? If you shy away from sales calls because it's uncomfortable, if you shy away from DMs because it's uncomfortable, if you shy away from objection handling because it's uncomfortable, if you shy away from things that are inherently to you difficult, then unfortunately you're not being congruent to the level of success that you actually want to have. I think it's wild. Genuinely, I think orthodox and stuff like that, like they're wild.
I think it's a whole like USP, right? So like people are like, like the whole like, I've been burnt by a mentor, come with me. I'm the mentor that fixes people who have been burnt by mentors. Like,
grow up.
There's kind of like a subsection of like mentors and people in this industry right now that's basically like
victims.
Yeah, so they just basically gather all the victims. TCT have them, like have all of these victims. Like I don't want to deal with these motherfuckers,
Yeah.
I want to deal with savages, and that's the reason why like you see loads of our coaches go from like, I mean Johnny, you mentioned him there, so his
Beast.
first 2 months, 2 to 20k months.
Cammy Duncan,
3 to 17k months. Like the reason why we don't deal with them.
Kieran Davidson.
Yeah, the reason why we don't deal with these motherfuckers is because like we want savages. We work with savages. We don't work with fucking people who are just like, I don't want to do this thing. Like, don't do it then.
Well, don't.
Stay broke.
Yeah. The way I look at it, right, the whole like, I've been burned in the past, right? Don't get me wrong. There are scams, right? I'm not naive. Like
I can rebuttal that.
Yeah. So I'm going to. I'm going to.
I'll let you finish then.
Like, so there's a closer inside one of the mentorships that I'm involved in. And I don't know this full story, and one of my close friends actually, like they physically got scammed, as in, but by scam, what I mean is that they were promised a certain thing, like a certain product, and then as soon as they paid and they got like onboarded, there was jack all there, and it was like that type of scam, right? But these two people have invested multi 5 figures since then, right? If you invest into something and you don't see success, it's not a scam. You just didn't work hard enough, right? Because if this is why, like the whole like I've been burned by another mentor in the past stuff is bullshit. Because does that other mentor have results? Chances are they probably do, right? Now, obviously, don't get me wrong. There's varying degrees of levels of results. Like, excuse me. Some people have obviously like fantastic results. Some people don't have as good results, right? Some people fabricate results, some people don't, whatever. But if that mentor or that investment has produced other results for other people, then it's like if you go into a gym and 9 people are out of shape, but one person is, who's to blame? Is it the people or the gym? Same with stuff like that, right? It's like if other people have had results inside it, then why haven't you? And like me personally, like I never believe in a bad investment because 2 reasons. Number 1, I'll always make it work because I'll always put the work in. I'll do whatever I have to. If I have to work like ridiculously hard to get a return, fine, I'll do it. Secondly, if you invest and you don't achieve a result, but you learn something, you have still learned something. Maybe you've learned not what not to do. That's more valuable sometimes than knowing what to do.
Yeah,
in my
I
personal opinion.
always think that, like, especially in our industry, if you're going to a mentor and they're basically saying send 20,000 cold DMs a day,
It's a
and
shit way to grow a business. Don't get
it's a
me
shit
wrong.
way to grow a business. But if you did that fundamentally,
I've done it.
but you would have clients.
Yeah, you would.
But this is like the worst piece of advice you're ever going to get with a mentor is to send 20,000 cold DMs a day, right? Like
Facts.
that's the worst thing that someone's going to tell you to do, right? If their whole entire program was just that, which I can categorically say that like no mentorship is going to tell you just to do that, right? There's going to be some level of like offer stacking and positioning and stuff like that, right?
hmm
But like my thing is with people who say they've been burnt by other mentors, my whole entire thing, which is why I don't like being the cleanup guy, is it's like, well, you didn't fucking action what they told you to do.
Yeah,
So then when you come into TCT, I'm going to tell you to do something and you're still not going to do it, and
yeah.
then blame me.
The way that I like to analogize it is it's like breakups.
Yeah.
It's like let's say you have someone who blames every single ex for being toxic. It's like there's a commonality between each one of those relationships, and that's you.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to put people down, but it's like you can get a return on investment from pretty much anything. If it requires a bit of uncomfortable hard work, fine. Like, don't get me wrong, I've invested in things before. Like my first ever business mentorship, like obviously we had like tactics and stuff like that, but a lot of it was just DM, 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 DM. Like I've got spreadsheets backdated like 2023, where I've got like 6,000 people on a Google sheet as a CRM, and I was just DMing, 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 DMing. That's like, and it's just
Did you get clients?
yeah, made it. I did the highest month we ever had was just over 10K
I mean,
from a content creation agency.
that's what I mean though.
Exactly right, and it's like I'm not going to sit here and blame mentors and stuff like that because it's like you make the decisions, you
Yeah.
invest.
Yeah, I mean, we don't attack that. We don't attack because we don't just say go and send cold DMs and shit. But like,
Do you not?
nah, not really. But like,
Why must I do
I
that?
think my whole thing with like being the mentor that cleans up, like, it's just basically you're just gathering victims, right?
Fix it.
Yeah, because like, what if you position yourself, and if we position ourselves like that, then effectively we're gonna have to train you to have a fuckload of congruency. That's our like first ever thing,
Yeah,
right?
which is uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that like the whole like offer doc and avoiding sales and like we're kind of moving into like that topic, right, of sales being uncomfortable. I think it's just people just. I think that's just pussy behavior. If I'm being really honest, it's like this thing is uncomfortable. It doesn't align with me, so I'm not going to do it.
Well, it's uncomfortable in compared to what though?
Drinking matcha and closing clients.
Like what? Like in the grand scheme of like everything that we do in life, right? Like selling to someone is not that crazy, right? It's not like, I don't know, you're gonna go through like some mad shit in your life, and like selling to someone is not gonna be, in the grand scheme of everything, it's not gonna be the most uncomfortable thing you're ever gonna do.
Yeah,
It's actually relatively easy.
yeah, and I also think like it depends what mindset you're in as a coach, right? Because obviously I've coached coaches on like how to sell, right? And one of the biggest things one of the biggest, I guess, like roadblocks to success I see people have is the way that they look at a scenario, right? Because like it's like, are you in like coach mode? This is something I say all the time to people, right? It's like, are you in coach mode or are you in like business owner mode?
Yeah, it's too
Because
different.
it's like if you're acting as like a coach and you care about macros, etc., 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 then yes, sales is going to be difficult. But if you think like a business owner, you then understand that sales is a natural part of the process and life cycle of running a business.
I think that whenever I see someone who's just like categorically against sales, I'm always like, have you ever positioned just being a success coach? Because it's like, if you just like being a coach,
Yeah.
genuinely, like if you absolutely hate sales, which is gay, but if you hate sales, you should just go and sit in someone else's business and then just coach,
Yeah.
fundamentally. But here's the thing, most people want to grow a business, right? So like the only thing that's stopping you from growing to 6-7 figure a month levels uh is the fact that you're scared to sell. That's it. Like that is the only thing. And as soon as you cut out of that, as soon as you cut through that, you're good. You're away.
It's relationship behind, in my opinion, behind it is two things. It's relationship with money and relationship with rejection. one of the things that you have to accept naturally as a result of growing a business, in my opinion, even though I don't have a business technically, is you're going to be told no.
Yeah.
How many times do you think you've ever been told no in your whole course of business, Jack?
Me.
Can't count because there's too
No.
many.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, our close rate is, what, 40%?
Yeah.
So in that position, every 10 calls that we have,
60%
six
of
say
the
no.
time. Yeah. So like, but I think what a lot of people do is that they assign some level of meaning to being told no, so they make it mean something about themselves.
Yeah.
And this is something
They
that,
don't like me.
yeah, one of my mindset coaches, David Jacobs, says is like, there's a gap between the stimulus and your response, and you decide what happens in the interim. So my understanding of that is like people will tell you no, and in between that gap between your response and them telling you no is what meaning you assign to it. You can assign the meaning of, oh my God, everyone hates me, I'm a failure, to it. Or you can understand that it's not personal, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's nothing against you. Therefore, it doesn't add any like negativity to yourself. Only you can decide that. So what I see a lot of people doing is they assign some level of meaning to rejection. They make it mean something about themselves, which then means that on a sales call, they don't push people.
Yeah.
Or they don't do what they should. And I've been guilty of this myself in the past, for sure. And that's why they don't like to sell, because they don't like to have that potential chance of rejection.
One of the best ways to become immune to hearing no is by volume, though.
Facts.
Because, like, if you hear no once, you're like, oh my God. But if you hear no like 100,000 times, you're like, all right, cool.
It's like, do you like horror films?
I think the like worst horror movie I've seen is Final Destination.
Fair. Well, I've never seen any of them. So, like, if I was to watch, like, I'm assuming there's jump scares in Final Destination.
Yeah.
So if I was to watch Final Destination like tonight, I'd probably shit myself with the jump scares, because I haven't seen it before, I haven't felt it before, I don't know what to expect, right? If I watch the film a second time over, going to be less.
Yep.
Less thing. By the time I watch the film 1,000 times, do you think I'm going to be scared with the jump scares? I'm going to be neutral to it. I'm not going to have the emotion towards it. The same as with sales, right? Before I ventured into and started High Ticket Closing, I was working for a SaaS agency where I would have to cold call 100 tradesmen every single day, trying to sell them Go High Level on a website for $5,000. In the UK, how many tradesmen do you think told me to F off a day, right?
How many were you dialing?
100 a day, cold calls.
Probably about 94.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the reason that I don't care about getting rejected on a call now is because I've been through that process so many times. So, like,
volume.
It's like in the DMs, right? Like, a lot of people.
DMs?
It's like a lot of people. A lot of people want to have like this magic like script and stuff like that for the DMs, right? But a lot of it is like genuine, like your mindset. Because once you don't care about rejection, once you have no attachment to things, you will naturally have a better conversation because you're not putting any weight on it. Like, I see people ask me all the time, right? Like, oh, what do I say to this specific thing? What do I say to this specific thing? It's like, you don't need to know what to say to the specific thing. You need to not be emotional about the response and actually think for yourself.
It's also pattern recognition, right? So, like, you
Facts.
say, for example, you have for 50 of the DMs, right? You basically said this one thing and like no one's responded to it. You're like, huh,
Yeah.
maybe I should try something different.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe.
And you'll learn through just sheer volume, basically. Which is why I like come back to the whole like send 2,000 cold DMs a day, like, because you will fucking learn a lot in that process. Obviously, we're not gonna do that.
Do you know if someone's listening, right? Someone's listening and they can't.
Just one person. Hello.
If you're listening to this and you want to grow your business, but like, let's just say you're not in a position to invest in your business. Personally, I don't believe that exists, but whatever, because I've personally had to put myself in debt before to buy things, but whatever. I reckon sending 2,000 DMs would teach you more about business.
I agree.
I genuinely think so,
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
I think doing something 2,000 times would teach you a lot more.
It's the rule of 100, right?
Yeah.
Hormozy, rule of 100.
100, what is it? One thing 100 times?
Yeah, so if you want to get good at posting, you would post 100 times. It's 100 days, post a day, 100 days, right? If you want to get good at paid ads, you would spend £100 a day on meta ads for 100 days.
Brings us on to our next topic, meta ads.
Yeah, I love meta ads. But like the rule of 100, you can extrapolate this throughout the whole thing. Like if you want to get good at coaching, probably coach 100 people. Like if you want to get good at something, you just have to throw so much fucking volume at it. And I think that a lot of newer coaches, they don't really understand how much they have to do in order to get good at something.
Right.
Because we spoke about that, like novelty, hard, good, like freedom, right? And it's like, well, it's novel, and then you're like, I'm really shit at it. Oh no, and then like you're in that like trudge of shit. Basically, you're shit at making content, you're shit at sales, shit at fucking coaching, really. Because like if you have no clients, like you're going to be terrible at coaching versus 100 clients, you're going to be great at coaching. I think that coaches just don't understand that like midsection. They think that it's just going to be like I start a business and I get to 6-7 figures. It's like no.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to be really shit at something for a fucking while.
I was like that. Like when I was doing sales initially, like when I first started closing, I was terrible. Like someone gives me an objection, I'm like, I fold a bit.
All right.
What?
I'll think about it. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's brilliant. Oh my god, yeah. Please think about it. Oh, I'll pay tomorrow. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, no worries. We've all been there, right? But like even me, like when I first started sales, like I was a fucking dog. Like when I was doing outreach for the first time, my first message would be asking them to go on a call. Like I'd outreach to someone, I'd be like, oh, like I like your content, blah 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 blah. Like let's go on a call, like straight away. But you literally you do have to go through a period of just dogging it out to actually get good at something. In my personal opinion, but it's like, can you put yourself through the fire long enough to get good at it?
Yeah.
I think Justin Waller said something before. He's like, these people who who try to start a business, fail, and then try to start another business, fail. Like they're running into punches constantly, because it's like once you get through the fire once, your ability to withstand the heat increases. Things are never going to get easier. You're just going to become better.
Yeah, it's like a maze, right? That's how I always analogize business as like a maze. Just like you're basically running and then you're like, oh, fuck this shit. Then you come back and you're like, I've been here before. Then you go another way and you kind of like, right, okay, I'll pattern recognition this to the middle, right?
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing with business is that there's just no middle. You're always finding like new lanes. You're getting closer towards a center, but you're never actually going to get there.